I'm doing a course, and most times I see people leaving comments like, "Oh, I stay in Yaba, I stay in Yaba, and I'm looking for an accountability partner who is down."
Life Weekly with
I feel
Esther
like such a
Amos, big babe right now. I am on Spotify. It's not
funny
a
and
state
sad at the
of
same
flow
time.
that I haven't been in years. The last time I experienced that kind of flow was in
Nothing else
2023.
mattered to me at that point. Let's get into this episode. Hi, happy new month and happy Easter celebrations. Woo! Welcome to Life Weekly Podcast, the corner of the internet where the lessons and stories hidden in every week are uncovered by me, your host, Esther Amos, because I think I'm a really good detective and give it to you so you don't learn the hard way. Today I'll be talking about accountability and support partners slash motivators, the hype men and hype women. But before I talk about that, a little update about what's been going on in my head and in my life. So I've had a really tiring week, and it's just the second week of my final semester in school. So we've had this long back to back, is it long? We've sure had back to back programs for the Easter celebrations, and I don't know if I should even complain complain about how stressed everything made me feel because they've been announcing it for a while and I feel like I should have prepared mentally. But my body was still shocked or is still shocked with how everything went down. Like it was so bad that when I finally had the time to log in or to check my WhatsApp messages, my mom was like, "Where have you been?" So that she was so worried and she couldn't call or text any of my friends. I was like, I'm good. We've just had back to back programs and it's that crazy because anytime I come back, we have morning sessions by 7 a.m. When I come back, 7 to 11 a.m., I come back and I just eat and sleep. I eat and sleep. And if I say I wake up by 3 now, the next session we have is by 5. And that's productive hours already lost. And so after the next session, I just come back and just rest again. Thinking of going the next day really just makes me even more tired. But yeah, it's almost over. Yes, we just have one more day, one more day to go, and it will be over. I've also been thinking about something, but a little backstory before I say what I've been thinking about, and I actually need help with this. So last year, during my SciWest industrial training or internship, I met someone who found out or who found out I write on Substack because I shared one piece on my WhatsApp status and she encouraged me to document my experience every week, my service experience every week on my Substack. And I was like, oh, it's a good idea. And so I started it. And the series then was titled Life Weekly. So after the series, I was like, okay, I want to do more with this. I want to continue. And I think I'm pretty fun or I find it fun in things and should go mainstream. Plus, since I've always wanted to start a podcast, I was like, this feels like a good template to use. And I didn't want to waste any more time thinking of branding or name or any of those things because I think I listened to one of my mentors in the creative space, and she was like, we should try as much as possible to reduce the time between when we get an idea and when we execute it. Okay, she said reduce the time, not eliminate it. Ah, anyway, I think I eliminated the time completely. And so after I started, I was not talking to my friend that, oh, I think I want to rebrand. And then it was like, oh, you just started, so take some time to think about it, to see if it's something you still want to do after the whole thought process. And it has been a while, and I think I'm sure I want to rebrand. The issue was coming up with a name. The first thing that was in my head was too serious. I know that I'll talk about serious stuff, but I don't want the name to be something so serious and something that will look so rigid. So yesterday I finally was inspired and I got two names which I'm excited about. So I'm going to put a poll and I wish, okay, yeah, you can leave comments if you're listening on YouTube. So I want to know, let me know what rebranding sounds like. There'll be a poll to vote, and even being the person that I am, I think I'm still going to go ahead with the rebranding regardless. So yeah, that's the whole rebranding thought process that has been in my head. And I'm thinking of waiting till August. Yeah, because it's August that I'll be done with school. Clock clock it. I'll be done and I'll have time to make videos. I really want to move into making video podcasts. And yeah, that's the rebranding thing I've been thinking about. And last week, okay, I didn't record last week. I didn't record last week, and I think I may have found my place in tech because that's what I was busy with. That's not an excuse, but yeah, I was really busy with tech last week. I recently finished a product management mentorship, and it ended with the different teams having to do a project and present it. Doing that project was so much fun for me. I can't explain. It didn't really feel like so much work. And I woke up every day excited about what to add to the project. And then there was the presentation, which I did. And I felt really proud of myself. I think doing a podcast every week has improved my presentation skills because I discovered a way that works for me to help me present better. And it involves something very simple. So it's as simple as just writing down the things I want to say. I didn't know it was that simple. But yeah, I did that and I was feeling like a founder. And it was honestly a really good experience. I even shared it on LinkedIn for the plot. And I remember one of my friends, one of my guys saying that, oh, LinkedIn is so performative. And I replied, I was like, oh, don't worry, I'm going to perform. I'm going to perform with them. Whatever they're performing, I am going to join them to perform. And yeah, it was really fun. And I was happy that, okay, this PM thing is working for me and it's not as crazy or as bad as I thought. Now to the issue or to the discussion of today, which is accountability partners. So we're talking about this today because I'm doing a course and most times I see people leaving comments like, oh, I stay in Yaba. I stay in Yaba and I'm looking for an accountability partner who is down. And then someone who I haven't replied yet. I don't know if I'm even going to reply. But then someone texted me and they were like, I want us. I want us to be accountability partners and I'm serious about it. When I saw the text, I laughed. Oh god, I feel like a bad person, but I laughed. Because I'm like, want us to be accountability partners. That is your problem. And you're serious. Like, it's the way the person even said, and I'm serious about it. I'm like, okay now, be serious about it. That's how I actually wanted to respond to the person. But I was like, it's not be nice. So let me just leave the message at that point. And I thought the message was funny and I thought the person was actually not as serious as they say. And maybe it's because of how I've lived over the years. I have not had an accountability partner for anything I have wanted to do. And I mostly just put my head down and do something. Maybe the only two times where I remember doing things with people because they were actually needed. They actually needed for me to do those things. Like one time I brought a group of people together to pray because there was an issue concerning all of us that we had to pray about and it was based on the scripture because I was going to pray about it on my own. But then I found this scripture in Matthew that said, if two people agree on a thing on the earth in Jesus' name and according to God's will, it shall be done. And then the agreement between us as a group was necessary at that point. And it was even a defining moment for me in my devotional life because I set the time, I set 3 days for us to pray. And then on the second day, I had this witness in my spirit for the first time. And in my church, my pastor is always saying that, oh, how to know when your prayers are answered. One of the ways to know is you get this witness in your spirit. And then for the first time, Even though the answers had not manifested physically, I had this strong witness in my spirit to just thank God because the prayers had been answered. So yeah, it was a good thing. And I also work with teams where everybody knows what they are doing and everybody wants to do what they know they are doing. The only second time was a bit recent, and I didn't even think I even really needed any accountability partner. Let's say like late last year, and I was looking for a prayer partner. And to be honest, now that I think of it, maybe I was really looking for one because you hear people, I always hear people talking about how they have prayer partners and they're like, oh, I had a burden in my spirit yesterday night. And I just called my prayer partner and and we prayed about and we prayed about it. And it sounded fun. Not fun, but like sounded nice. Like nice to have. A nice to have feature in your life. And at the end of the day, I didn't find any. And I don't even think I wasn't even at ease asking anyone to be my prayer partner. So I just let it go. And other than those two times, I don't remember having any accountability partners or wanting one. Because if I want to do something or if anybody wants to do something and we still need external or we still depend on some external source of motivation, then we're not yet serious. So I spoke to my classmates about it too. One time that we went for class and class hold. See, this week was so annoying. And so we saw a video. One of my classmates was scrolling and we saw a video where there's this woman that teaches she says her value proposition is that she teaches women to find purpose before marriage. And so in this video, she was talking to men. She was saying that men are called grooms for a reason, and it's because they are meant to groom their wives. They should not, she was saying that they should not leave their wives to lose themselves and just be lost in motherhood and being a wife, that they should also encourage her to chase purpose. And yes, there's some sense in that, but the part where she said force your wife was where was where everybody scattered in class. And I was like, nah, me, I have to force myself. Even the guys were like, before the guys now said all these women now that if you force them, they'll say you're controlling. And I was like, it's never only women, it goes both ways. Because if there's now someone constantly reminding you of the things that you are supposed to do or reminding you to do things that you say you want to do, it will be nice at first, but then at some point it starts to sound like nagging, like, oh, you're disturbing me, leave me alone, let me go at my own pace. Not everybody will be like, you start hearing things like that. Not everybody will be like you are different, we're not the same. All those kind of things just is to just just really discourages me from all this thing of being an accountability partner to someone or even having one. It feels like unpaid therapist work because so I wake up every morning you ha. But in my head I'm just like, you are not yet serious. Oh. Because if you are, you will put your head down and do the work that you say you want to do. So I did some Google search. I was just like checking Google to see if there was anybody that having accountability partners have or has helped. And some of my classmates they said that okay, having light or having someone remind you lightly can be of help, like how they just go to knock on their doors when it's time for class that oh we have class by this time just to remind them because at the end of the day, it's still up to the person to choose whether they will go for the class or not. I feel like most of my friends know that about me. If you tell me something, I I mean most likely okay, I'll remind you if I remember that you said you want to do something. And I'll be like, okay, that stuff you said you wanted to do, how far with it, this and that. But then since I also will not want someone reminding me every time this one, that one, maybe because I'm just or I have enough motivation. I have enough anger to motivate me to do some things most times that I don't really need one or want anybody to be doing those check-ins on me. So I read online. I went to Reddit to see if I'll see any. more accountability partner stories, and everything I'm saying is just funny to me. There's one, this person said, let's get fit for summer. Looking for a body to help keep me motivated and accountable. My goals are 10K steps a day, eat healthy and mostly real food. I'd like to lose some inches off my waist and some body fat. I'm looking for serious people only. Happy to send progress pics as well. You yourself, you are not a serious person. You are looking for serious people. I don't know, I just feel weird about having accountability partners. So I think what we should do instead is to ask ourselves why. Why do we think we need someone to constantly remind us and push us? People are on different people have different thought process. There are people that believe that they work better in under certain conditions, and even you trying to keep them accountable might seem like pressure to them. So yeah, we should sit down and think, why do we need someone to constantly remind us, to push us? And again, I was asking myself this question: if someone, or if anybody listening is an accountability partner or wants one or wants to be one, how do we draw the line between seeking support and just being parasitic in the name of looking for someone to be accountable to? Because at some point, it just feels like you are now managing the person's life. And it's just very crazy and scary. And even talking about this now reminds me of the talent story. The story of the talents in the Bible, where Jesus said a master was traveling and he gave his servants talents 10, 5, and 1. And the ones that had 10 and 5 did work with it, and the one that had 1 went to bury it. So, in my head, the best person to be accountable to is God, the person who gave you the ideas, the person who gave you the talent. Just imagine God talking or being in your room every time and he's coming to ask you, oh, this idea I gave you, what have you done with it? This talent I gave you, what have you done with it? What are you even going to do with it? What are you planning to do with it? Yeah, so being accountable to God is a thing. I think it's the best because God has high standards, and obviously you have to level up to his standards because he is the one that gave you the talent in the first place. And I also think that you can't outsource growth or idea execution because most times these people, they have an idea, they have the goal. People that are looking for accountability partners, they admire the person that they want to be in the future, but somehow the road to get there just seems blurry, and they feel like, or they can feel like, okay, having someone to push me will help. But it really starts with sitting with yourself and knowing where you can start. And I don't think there are levels you can get to in life if you don't learn to do things on your own. I know that yes, it's good to have people come to support you once in a while and encourage you, but even the encouragements, you can also encourage yourself in the Lord. Oh my days, why am I so against accountability partners? Okay, I'm not against. If you have one and it's working for you, that's fine and beautiful. But then it was just that message that, that made me laugh. The text I got. Oh my days. Anyway, I don't think there are levels in life you get to if you don't learn to do things on your own, because most times you'll be the only one who sees where you want to be. Most people will not see, most people will not understand. Some of them might even be like, oh, what's the fuss about all of this? And sometimes giving someone that position of being an accountability partner in your life, they can misinterpret things and want to start managing your life or giving you suggestions that may be influenced by their own limiting beliefs and all of that. So I think this is my opinion. The best thing is to be driven by an internal force. If you are angry enough, you use that anger to do some things. If you see, I saw this reel one time, and the person was like, when they can't even sleep because they see who they could be if they put in the work, and they look at where they are now, and they're like, this thing is not matching up. We have work to do. And sometimes, even sometimes or every day, I think like that. I think like that, and it pushes me to be harder on myself. So I even saw a tweet that can help buttress this point further, where the woman said that don't give yourself so much grace that you fail to achieve the goals you set, because it's easy to slip into this, is this self pity, I'll call it, or empathizing with yourself so much when you don't do something, that oh, you do it next time, or you just strategize better and all of that. So yeah, external factors can also help motivate you alongside internal factors, but they can only do so little. They can only do so little, because what if the external factors change? What if one day your accountability partner says it's not giving you accountability again? Are you not going to stop pursuing your goals? If you do, then maybe you should question whether you really want those things. But I just believe that if you really, really want something, nothing will stop you. You will go after it. You will go after it. I think there was one time we were doing something in class, and then my classmates came, and he just said, Esther, you don't want to do this thing. Like, he just came out like, Esther, you don't want to do this thing, because if you wanted to do it, you would have done it, and nothing will stop you. And I was like, maybe he's right. He's right, because that desire, ah, I feel like desire should push you a lot more than external factors. But yeah, that's all I have to say on accountability partners. So thank you for listening. If you're listening on YouTube, leave a like and please subscribe. And if you're listening on Spotify, follow the show on Spotify. Thank you. And I'm going to walk around and learn how I can announce this rebranding in August, and also talk to some of my listeners to see what they think about rebranding. And I also have someone I know who is a brand manager that can help me with this. So yeah, bye. See you next week.